Several floors have been discovered to contain roadblocks that had hindered the progress of the adventurers through Amaranth, but they of course could not stand the weight of hundreds of adventurous minds thrown at solutions, and others were innocuous, becoming apparent only to a select few. Some required war, and others peace. Some included a particular item, or a particular place, and others remained unlocked across all 1,000 instances of the dungeon's multiverse upon solution. Those who clear these blocks and discover the method to ascend become the luminous few who enter into the dungeon's written history, the annals of avarice. Welcome, travelers, to the Dragonleaf, the Teahouse where tales are told. I wanted to open the floodgates to questions from the community, so if you have any burning questions or things that you want to ask about D&D or really anything, let's talk shop. No need to hold back. Ask away. And I'll try to get to every comment. I will also... I changed my mind. I am not going to recommend or enforce this work upon my friends here. Let's join. Let's all join hands, join together and start hating on each other for the way we do stuff. If you like the content, leave a like in the tip jar and subscribe to our weekly tales. Leave a comment in the suggestion box to tell us how well we did or how well we did not. Thank you for listening. And without further ado, it's time to open up shop. Hello again.
Hello.
Kumbaya, everyone.
What work were you going to thrust upon us?
I don't know why I said work. It sounds fun. I was going to be like, and we'll all answer your questions, every one of them. Get on YouTube, everybody, and start scouring.
Oh, good God.
What kind of questions don't you answer? Silence, and you just look away.
I almost did it. I was so
Last time. Continuing Astrid's march, the Deviants find themselves in a battle between Enth and Lodom. And with the eagle riding Valkyrie flying high above, they begin to exert their dominance over the battlefield. And pushing back the Eagle Knight, they continue to follow Astrid's trail as she passively stares at the rose-covered arch upon walking with a beautiful sung hymn across the ocean, incanting gold and azure flame beneath her feet before passing through. We jump back in as our stalwart adventurers now find themselves at the end of the 4th floor. It's a few hours until sunset as you guys find yourselves now here on once again the shaded beach getaway that you had previously spent a few days in vacation. Jojo, you have your hand raised.
Sorry, I just in this recap realized, did you say she used both of the types of magic? She used the magic of both the azure flame and the golden flame? Oh,
indeed.
That's sick.
They merged at her feet and formed a pathway forward.
Well, I'm assuming he'll look at like Matilda and Selene. We would all like another rest before we continue in.
Carson appears and he's just like, yes, thank you ever so for including me in your calculations.
But are we going to miss her though? She just went through, didn't she?
True.
She's gone through.
I don't know if that actually means anything.
It meant something last time.
Oh, yeah, well, never mind then.
Maybe we gotta go.
Yeah.
This is the plan.
What is the plan then? We don't have the gilded handkerchief.
We could try with her handkerchief, but yeah, you're right. I don't know, I think we should still see what's going on there, right?
Maybe she's not dead yet on this floor.
I guess there's only one way to find out.
We could see what happens to her.
Yeah, I think we should go.
Vincent will cast some spells because if combat ensues, so.
If things go bad because we're there early, do we just leave? Do we just rope out?
Yeah.
I guess we'd have to do.
Killian will use a level 1 spell slot just to revive Bladebeak.
You sit back and you begin to tinker with Bladebeak. So that is a minute, yes?
Yeah, just a minute. So that would have been while we decide whether or not we're going through early, I imagine. Unless I can just, as soon as I enter, cast it, and then Bladebeak will just spin up.
I think personally I prefer if you did it, if we crossed and then you did it, but...
That works for me.
Okay. Vincent is also going to cast Summon Devil. get Darling to come out.
I grab the tombstone and place it where it's supposed to go.
As you enter in, you just make a mad dash over to the tombstone. You are followed by Darling, who sees you, kind of just separated from the rest of the party, and moves over towards the edge, just watching you from the bushes.
I was wondering if I could go up to the front row and try my best to sit in these very destroyed pews.
You move over and you sit down in this
We
pew.
don't see Astrid anywhere, do we?
Astrid has made her way slowly walking. You can see her footsteps in the sand as she approaches the large, well, you would assume rose-covered archway, but you basically just see bramble and the remains of what is there. As she sits in the center of the archway and begins to face down towards you all, she maintains her position there for a time. Jojo, you just make a mad dash. Just this, here's your morning run. Some athletic maneuvers while you're holding a large chunk of stone. Making your way toward the end, you just plant it down and the ash flitters around you. A little bit gets in your face, but no big thing. As you turn, you see Darling behind you, and then she just slowly begins to move. Also gives you a death stare, Matilda, and circles you for a moment.
What's the difference?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, what's the difference between when we were here last time and now? Like, it just looks like really desolate.
It is the same. It has
Very
been.
same.
It has been destroyed.
But there's nothing that like really catches our eye that's like different. Like spot the difference kind of dealio.
Nothing.
Vincent commands Darling to go stand up on the pew over here and to not do anything unless instructed to do so. And he gives her quite a firm look because he knows her personality.
She looks like just...
He's also disguised as a knight, so it's even more intimidating.
Taking her position as dictated. Go ahead and mark where you wanted her.
Let's put her here.
Right there. Okay. Someone else raised their hand. Matilda, you had your hand raised.
I want to know, in our understanding of how the dungeon functions, is it really odd that this floor is exactly the same again?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Whether or not people have interacted with it, like the nature of the area is the same. Like you see that the sand dunes have moved differently, but this seems to be the default case of this area. You all look onwards as Astrid begins to sit. As you all prepare, and you take your time, Astrid sits down and looks on towards the entrance. Matilda, there we go. One thing that is different from what you've seen here. Previously, the entire area was shrouded in azure flame at the distance. Absent. There is no blue flame surrounding you all. And Astrid sits. And I am sorry to have killed your guys' spell slots like this, but 2 hours pass.
I get a blade beak. Whoop.
And the only person
Thank
that
you.
loses that is, I think, Vincent.
Bladebeak heals back to full throughout this time, yes?
Yeah. As soon as the spell's done working its magic, it's back to full.
So as time continues, you do not need to burn one more spell slot, Vincent, as you look on towards Astrid.
I
She sits
haven't
down.
Any spell slots. These spells are innate to him. He can cast them once a day for free.
Oh, nice. Sitting back and watching as Astrid sits. She sits for a time. She begins to pull together what the cloak that had previously been given to her by the Lodomnian soldier and just covers herself and sits down and just waits. And then she is there for some time. Staring out through the kind of desolate wood, she waits. An hour
Able
passes.
to do a short rest at this point?
You guys have 2 hours, so you may do a short rest.
Okay.
Nice.
I think as we wait, the spells will fade. Darling will disappear. His knightly outfit will disappear, not knowing exactly what was going to happen. Just kind of assessing the situation. Vincent's going to play her a play Astrid a song. Something he's spent a little bit of time over the days and weeks of entering and leaving the dungeon and just kind of like feeling out her story and now knowing the end of it. And give her what he feels like is her own theme song.
Roll performance.
And with that, I will also do a song of rest.
Plus D6.
You have advantage on this performance check because you have insight expertise.
You guys each gain 1 extra health. $29.
Good. Sweet D&D gods. Okay, 30. I'm sorry, 29. As you sit back and you begin to play.
30 if you want me to.
Well, no. As you sit back and begin to play what you suss out to be a theme that resonates with this individual, it's somber, but there are tones that lead into an unshakable hope, a desire for something more. You move into a chorus of rebellion that maintains for a time before the act structure of this song shifts and moves to somewhat adventurous. Taking away from the song itself, you return to a point where you're not certain anymore. It becomes mysterious. And as the song continues to the end of your rest, Astrid stands. And your interest is piqued as something changes. She begins to move forward, and above you hear the cry of an eagle. It falls. Is this where you guys are right now, over the course of this 2-hour rest?
I think Vincent probably would have been performing near the end of it. He'll go stand over here while he's doing it.
These benches look as destroyed as they look.
Obliterated.
Yeah, Jojo's just sitting here.
Killian is atop Blade Beak, but otherwise where she is.
I stay in my seat.
Okay. The eagle circles. You see a figure atop. And slowly it lands. You hear as the dust kicks up and launches around you. Over the course of the 2 hours, at about the hour mark, Astrid sat in the center of this forest. As the blue light begins to dye the area around you, a pale azure. She stares out towards the exterior of the forest as the flames begin to lick at the wood and move inward towards her position, but she maintains. Atop the eagle, Vincent, you look towards Astrid, and she stands with a look of surprise, but familiarity. And she looks at the figures, spotting the knight, whose guise you just wore. The eagle lands. The knight, who you had seen from the beginning of the dungeon, steps foot off of the eagle, and as his foot touches the ground, he returns to static. And he realized that this is the individual that he had, or that had previously been traveling with you for a time. They begin to stride forward. The Valkyrie removes her helmet and moves over towards Astrid and gives her a hug. Long, flowing red-brown hair. And then turns and faces the knight who carries the withered form of a valiant and powerful knight atop his back brought low. Placing down his body, the hand falls open, and a blood-stained handkerchief, clutched within, is slowly removed, as though grasped with every ounce of his dying strength, but now let to fly. Taking it in hand, Astrid takes the knight and sits down underneath the archway. The other two move towards her. The eagle begins to move back. An intelligent creature, knowing full well that this position is not for it, and it begins to take flight. They move in, and Astrid immediately, flames dance around her, holding back the two as they begin to rear backwards. They talk to each other and they yell towards Astrid, words unintelligible. And this continues for a moment. Vincent.
I felt like I was still playing Astrid's song, and when they landed, Vincent didn't stop. He just flittered off into some more in-between music. He'd like to try and compose this on the spot to go along with basically the scene.
Roll performance, you can add composer to this. That's what I was looking for.
31.
As you compose the song that travels across the open air, you just simply understand. No tears fall from your eyes, but it's hard to sit back and listen to this song without an entire slew of memories tearing through you. And you have composed what amounts to the perfect ballad of Astrid. As you sit back and you watch the two, the flames around her grow with her rage as she clutches onto the body of her lost love. And she screams at the two who had approached her. Before eventually they look towards her, and she lashes out with blue and with azure and golden flame. Backing away, they speak to each other briefly. The eagle lands, and the static encased knight refuses to leave. But as the Valkyrie places her helmet back on, in a brief moment, they share a glance, and the knight begrudgingly joins her once more on eagleback, and they take off. Astrid remains. She moves aside. She takes a piece of wood and places it. Then she takes another, and she implants both as she moves from the center of where the archway is. She goes off to the side of the area, to a small corner, something a bit more humble. And she implants 1, 2, 3 pieces of wood into the ground and begins to dig. Slowly and tired, drags the body of her lost love to a small hole that she has dug out. She places within it herself and her love as the flames begin to encroach around all of you. And the azure flame leaves nothing left.
Is it getting closer to the party?
It is encasing around you. Beyond it, it's just desolation.
Okay. Is it similar to what it was before, or does it feel like it's going to come after us?
Now it is moving in far past where it stopped previously.
Okay. He'll look towards Selin and in her head. Dia, round up everyone near you. You have gauntlets? Or the bracelets, do you not?
Selene grabs everybody and encircles everyone around me. Jumps on, like bumps into. Sorry. As you all encircle each other around this spot, Astrid lays in this grave with 3 gravestones, and the flames get closer. Selene smashes the bracers together, and as the flames come closer, almost in fear of the pale that erupts out from the center of it, remains at a small bubble. And now you find yourself staring out towards the energy of an inferno that dances around you helplessly. And in moments, the flames disperse. And what remains around you is a woman. Standing at the edge, a woman encased in lace, long charred hands, encircled in a faint flicker of azure and gold. You see now the third sister, the Red Widow, who appears before you and stares towards the party before raising a hand. You hear the sound of weight slowly bear down upon the wood supports of the second floor of the viewing platform within this wedding. And she looks, leans back, and lets out a banshee's shriek towards all of you. Everybody roll initiative.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
While that was happening, Matilda, that was sad that she immolated herself, but Matilda was like, I'm staring at the tombstone. Did the tombstone ever, come into full focus?
The one that she herself had placed down and then relocated was simply like a meager piece of wood. It was not the stone one that you are certain appears for her when she fades away.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Also, when she laid 3 stones down and then stood in there with her, can Vincent's guess if she was pregnant be what the third stone was for?
Passive insight. You are correct.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, that's a lady that has a baby. I think you would have heard my, and then Damon was nodded. I'm like, oh shit.
Let me roll for this myriad of NPCs here. Bladebeak, Killian. I have Darling in here just in case, but they are off to the side.
I would have thought Matilda would be like, oh, she had voices in her head. Other tombstones for her voice.
What voice?
Let me bring
If you made a tombstone for yourself, you're like, here's for me, here's for Faust.
You and the 3 voices in your head.
Don't look at me and my 2 sons. I don't remember what the name was. Let me see. He had 20 initiative. Bladebeak goes after you. That is 18.13. The combat commences. Paka goes first. As he looks out around the battlefield, he's like, I know what to do. And then he runs
away
and hides. As he reaches the other side of this second floor platform. I think he actually has a little bit of movement left. He's going to climb 5 feet up to also not be on the ground. You can hear him scurrying off to the other side. The zombies stare and watch as he just begins to tear through and begin to pay attention, shambling towards his position. Killian, you are up.
Real quick, for Damon, have we fought this boss before?
You have not.
No.
Okay. Are we fighting this boss?
Looks like it.
We can't leave once you go in through that other archway. It closes, and
Okay.
the one in front of us isn't open yet.
All right. Well, then it's gonna cast. Killian's gonna cast heroism on Jojo.
Okay.
Did that work? Did that apply anything?
Doesn't look like it. Nothing came in the chat log.
Not at correct.
Oh, Jojo, look at us always being next to each other in initiative because we roll so low.
I know.
You guys should be more like Paka and just have a set initiative.
If you can apply heroism to
Heroism to Killian?
no, to Jojo.
Jojo, perfect.
And that's my action. My bonus is going to be telling Bladebeak to target this zombie and start chopping.
Bladebeak turns its attention up. It is on a second floor balcony. Let me actually readjust them so they're 10 feet up. Bladebeak sees that the staircase is down here, or it could attempt to climb up the trellised side, but it does not look like it could support very much weight.
Gotcha. Let's see. What is my distance? Oh. I can't draw. Strange.
Can't draw, bring your...
Like a ruler. I try to drag the ruler. It shows me little things, but it doesn't draw it.
Is that AoEs you got going?
I don't know.
Are you on the little L one, or are you on the person with the ruler?
I'm on the person.
Okay. I'm not sure.
That's not working for me either. Here, let's give
That's
another
fine.
refresh.
I will just.
Oh, it's working for now. I can see it.
Well, it's all good. He'll target the one that he can reach, because he can move 30. Oh, collided with at least one wall. I see. 30, and then 40. No, not within range.
You could go here and then here because you haven't gone diagonal, I don't think. Oh no, you did do one diagonal. Ah.
Yeah. Okay. Bleepbeak will just try to climb up.
Okay.
That's a part of movement, right?
How much does Bladebeak weigh, roughly?
Bladebeak weighs roughly 250 pounds, I believe.
Bladebeak puts their feet up there. I need you to roll dexterity. It's possible for Bladebeak to climb this comfortably, but if Bladebeak cannot get up fast enough, this will crumble and she will lose her movement on this turn. Or they will lose their movement on this turn.
Just dexterity, right?
Yes, straight dex check. 12. Grabbing onto the side of the trellis. Going up. The trellis underneath. Immediately breaks. Bladebeak loses footing, slams into the ground prone.
Alright. Alas. Well, they tried.
Vincent will turn over to the party and in a whisper so you guys can hear, but I don't think she might be able to. I might be able to distract her for a little bit. Try and take out the ads for now.
Killian nods. I guess Bladebeak. Can Bladebeak hold actions?
As a bonus action, you can command Bladebeak to hold an action. But Bladebeak can take just about any action on their turn if you use your bonus action to command them. And then uses their reaction as well to execute the command.
Okay. In that case, then I'll just tell, because Bladebeak wasn't able to get within range to attack, just dodge. And just stand next to me.
Alrighty.
That's all good.
Prone and prepared to dodge. Laying on the ground. Come on, kid, bring it in, bring it. Holding back and forth, Bladebeak prepares to move out of the way when needed. I like to think the body also just kind of contorts and fits so that they stand up interestingly, especially with the energy beams around them. They can kind of move in very unnatural ways. And that is the end of Killian and Bladebeak. The zombies...
Oh, real quick. Given that Bladebeak only moved like 10 feet, would they be able to get up on the end of their turn?
Breaking this section of trellis and falling basically just takes the movement away from the individual.
Understood. Okay,
Yeah.
That's all good.
It's climbable. It's just that it's probably a small race would be able to do it. Like it's thin wooden beams with a wooden trellis that has just been, as far as you can tell, like nailed to it, and not particularly well.
Good.
At the end of that turn, this zombie will mindlessly shamble over here. Is going to reach over, grab a piece of this like fallen furniture, lift up, hold it back, and then you can see their muscles just tense, and they launch it down at rapid speed. So this one will be... It's not very smart. I'm going to go ahead and roll. Jojo. The wooden chair targets you as it is launched down towards you. Just boom! Breaks against your arm and just dashes away as you throw the thing away. No damage.
Nice.
This zombie moves over down here and looks down and sees Paka, and Paka's just on the other side. Reaches over, grabs a chair, throws it down, and grabs the chair, smashes it against the side of the banister, and one of the pieces like flips around and then smashes it in the bottom of the chin, like breaking the head back for a second before it just brings itself right. It takes 2 damage by itself with its natural 1.
Man, Paka has been super lucky this episode.
Paka's actually pretty hard to hit. For the most part, he's been very unlucky otherwise. These zombies with nothing else to grab kind of just shamble over towards the edge and then begin, like one goes to take a step off the area, and then the widow looks over and then it just kind of rights itself back on the second floor and looks over towards the lot of you. Reaching over, it grabs onto a piece of the banister and pulls out what amounts to a javelin and just throws as best it can. How far are you guys outside of its range?
Ooh. Maybe we should try and knock these guys off the balcony.
Ooh, I'm getting weird things with my ruler as well.
You have to... I'm 40 feet, Matilda's 35.
Okay.
Desaulniers 40, Killian's 40, Lakebeak's 45, Jojo's 45.
They take back and they throw 2 javelins towards the closest. One towards
Think
you,
that-
Vincent.
That would all be at disadvantage javelins of a 30-foot radius. or
Precisely.
Distance.
One toward. They
30 over 120, I think.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that they doing the right things. I'm role playing this as being wood, but in the end, they have a javelin attack. As they turn, they throw their javelins. One flies in towards you, Vincent, and just lands against the stone pillar behind you before, like, it can't get in deep enough and just falls off to the ground at your feet. The other one, Matilda, flies in towards you, and you just, like, sidestep an inch as it lands in the ground next to you. And these, like, shambling zombies just go about forming themselves new weapons.
I'm used to fighting dead people. Like, if we go back to the first episode.
You stare at the ghost and you say, I fight dead people. Vincent, you are up.
Okay. Vincent was still playing his song as things were going on. He didn't interrupt it. He's going to turn around and face this person. Does he feel like this is Astrid, or does she look different?
As far as you can discern, this is Astrid.
Okay. This is Astrid's grief, essentially. He's gonna stroll up right beside her, and kind of go behind her, hoping that she'll pay attention to him. Dear, I know you're lonely. I know it hurts. But I'm here now. And we're here to help. Calm your rage and pay attention to me. He's gonna try and charm her. And she has advantage because we're fighting her. I don't know if it kicks in now because she initiated the combat. But she also has disadvantage because I'm playing my instrument.
Ooh.
And I am also going to unsettle her. I don't know how. He's trying to calm her, but unsettling words still does its thing, I guess.
As you lean back and you are playing this music, she turns and, like, glances down towards you as you say this, and she reaches one, like, just charred hand down and goes to place it underneath your chin. Do you resist?
Can he get off his stuff first before she does stuff? Okay. I just want to initiate all my stuff first. Charm person. Spell. So she needs to roll a wisdom saving throw, and she is a -6 to this roll. She's at disadvantage. Only if I don't, the charm person thing is kind of weird because in the spell it says that they have advantage if we're fighting it, but I don't know if that means we had to have damaged her first.
Entering into combat in this instance, she is hostile, and you guys are currently
It's
fighting.
just neutral roll because they negate each other, and then she has a -6 to her roll.
That was a success. See, natural 20 plus bonuses minus the 6, still a success.
DC was 15 if that mattered. Okay, then it went off. He wouldn't know it succeeded or not, but he's taking this as a gamble.
The spell's not concentration,
No.
so fair point. She reaches down to place her hand under your chin. Do you resist?
He doesn't because he's risking this.
She places her hand underneath your chin and slowly, almost like just passionately, raises your face up to face hers. Anything with the rest of your turn?
No, that was his action, bonus action. He's done.
All right. The beginning of Selene's turn. She looks mildly jealously towards this scene, but having been told that you got this and to deal with the ads, she turns and kind of pries her eyes away here before... actually, she's probably going to take... She's going to go here. Kind of dashing around this area, just stomping over the broken pews and moving into the distance. She can make it one more. She reels back, brings her hands down, and just casts a small flicker of light that leaves her hand, and a radiant flame erupts around this zombie over here. They take full damage. Selene continues this and then pulls out her mace with her other hand as she continues marching forward towards them. And it is now the creature's turn. Vincent. She raises your face to look towards hers, and as you gaze upon her visage, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw. This is a charm effect.
I don't think we have any resistance to that right now, so it's just a normal wisdom saving throw. It's a 7.
A 7? You are charmed by the creature. As you stare upon her unworldly visage, your song that plays her reverence begins to almost move towards a tune that she begins to dictate, and it turns angry. She is going to utilize her embrace upon you. I need you. You are charmed by this individual. You take 12 points of necrotic damage.
Okay.
And your hit point maximum is reduced by that number.
Okay.
All right. She now stares upon you, turns her attention towards the rest of you, raises a hand, grasps out into the open air, and you see the vines surrounding the pillar that you stand on wrap out and immediately begin to attempt to ensnare Jojo and Matilda. I need both of you to roll dexterity saving throw.
The heck? What's up with the, like, okay.
21.
21, you succeed. You manage to just like grab onto the vines, throw them aside, and begin to move. Matilda, you just barely managed to succeed, grabbing onto the vines and throwing yourself away from it. As you can see, they become just animated and attempt to move in towards you. At the end of the Red Widow's turn, Jojo, you are up.
Jojo's gonna yell out, Paka, check the grave for the handkerchief. Astrid, stop! And then Jojo's going to try and climb this railing to get up here. Oh, she's gonna try and get up here.
Okay, roll dexterity.
Oh, it's not athletics?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
You can climb it. It's not climbing, that's the thing. It's doing it incredibly quickly.
Oh, I see. That's 13? Dexterity?
13. You grab onto the side and you begin to climb up. The entire trellis side breaks and you fall prone and have lost your movement.
Now I'm prone. I look up at this like zombie who had just like thrown something towards me. And I'm prone. I'm just like, fuck. And I shoot up a firebolt at it. So firebolt. Disadvantage because I'm prone.
Nope.
I don't know why it's telling me disadvantage then. Normal.
Probably thinks it's a melee attack. I don't know. It's weird.
It's not. Oh, it thinks that I'm in.
Oh, you
range.
do. You have disadvantage on attack rolls. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then I
Only
will-
attack rolls. This.
Firebolt's an attack roll.
So that
okay.
is double 19s. Is what I got. So I'm assuming that hits.
Oh, beauty. Yeah, it just popped in for me. Yeah, that hits. Go and roll damage.
That's 10 fire damage towards this one.
10. Leaning back, take aim, launching a firebolt. Boom! Slams the left half of its face is gone and smoldering. It just looks down towards you with an exposed jaw. It's just trying to get used to its new life.
And then Jojo is angry, so she's afraid. Bonus action. Rage. Usability. Oh, it says I ran out, but that's not true.
You can just click the screw you button.
Screw you button. Normal. Apply effect. Bam. And then I'll do my wild surge. That is flowers and vines. You tried to
Nice.
flower and vines me, I tried to flower and vines you.
That's 15 foot?
It is 15 feet within
15 feet.
range of me. Is difficult terrain for my enemies only. Yeah, so Jojo's just on her back, just like all these like vines, these old growth vines just like rip out of her and start climbing up the trellis. And that is my turn.
Here's what I'll say. Because these vines are here, all of the area within here can be climbed successfully.
Oh, yay.
The vines will move with you, but in this area, like, I almost picture it as like a library ladder. Like if you're holding onto the vines and Jojo moves, they like shuffle along the side.
Yeah.
That is how I'll say this works for now, because that's very
Awesome.
fun. Matilda. You're up. Actually, one more thing. Jojo, when you fell and you were just like, my rage, is it working? And I figure you hit the ground and you're just like, what? Come on. Boom, flowers. Matilda, you're up.
I have a theory, but I don't know if it's a good idea to test out the theory right now. I'm gonna test out my theory. I'm not leaving the party, so it's okay. Matilda's mine. 5, 10, 15. I'm gonna touch this person. And I'm gonna remove curse on them. Matilda's curious if this... I don't know, I don't think it... I just want to see if anything happens.
Here's what I'll say. Make a melee spell attack. Because I don't think they would allow you to walk up and touch them casually.
Okay. Melee spell attack. What do I add to that?
Same thing as Eldritch Blast.
Yeah.
For spellcasting ability
Yes.
modifier.
Okie
I
dokie.
don't. Does her wands? Yeah, her wands would affect these, right? Or is it only ranged attacks?
It's not... I would say they don't, just because this isn't the nature of the wands in general.
D20, and then I'm
Yeah.
gonna add plus 9. Boop.
That
I
hits.
think the wands are adding, because she should only have +7 normally. The wands add another +2, 1 for each of them. Is what I'm
Okay, so you rolled a 14.
Yeah, plus
14 still hits. As you bring your hand up and you cast Remove Curse on her, go ahead and roll 2d10.
2d10. 2.
The Red Widow takes 4 points of radiant damage.
Oh.
As you touch her and you cast Remove Curse, she just lets out
Oh.
a vicious shriek.
Uh-oh. That didn't do what I thought it was gonna do.
It's a curse.
what it seems like is it might be a curse, but remove curse can't remove it. It's just causing her.
Damage.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna do that. Oh, what could I do for a bonus action? Yeah, no, I think... Man, I don't have a lot of bonus actions. I think I'm just gonna, like, stand there, like, awkwardly wave at the widow, and then end my turn.
She turns her attention back towards you, her head cocks off to the side, and then she brings up a hand and waves back as flames begin to dance around you, blue and gold.
Yeah.
I need you and Vincent to make a... Actually, no, she does not target you, Vincent. I need you to make a dexterity saving
Curious
throw.
about that. If
Just
I'm
me?
charmed and she keeps hurting me, does the charm effect not end?
It would. She has not targeted you on this one.
No
Though.
save?
So, yeah, it's just you. That will be a dexterity saving throw.
No.
You take 16 points of fire damage as the flames erupt around you and begin to lift.
Oh, dumb choice. Sorry, guys. Real dumb. Sorry.
At the end of your turn,
That's
Paka.
great.
Paka is going to... He's like, I don't remember what you told me to do. I don't remember what you told me to do. And begins to
Handkerchief
run around the other side.
in the grave.
Oh,
Dear
okay.
Blast.
He then drops down. He's like, 5 feet doesn't incur fall damage. And he hits the ground and begins to run. He makes it 10 more feet. He's going to dash to get the extra 5, and then he hops in and just kind of like slides down the side. Tiny little Paka is now in the grave. What have you done to my little boy?
Boy.
Is grave robbing now. So proud of you, robbing graves.
Matilda's very proud.
I thought Astrid dug 6 feet. It's probably not that deep.
Fair point. Killian, you're up.
Okay. Well, Bladebeak is able to climb up without making checks, right? Because of those vines.
One thing I forgot, Astrid disappears, appears over here. And Bladebeak is able to climb up.
Okay, well that definitely changes everything. Killian's like about to tell Bladebeak to go and like keep fighting the zombie, and then the thing appears. So Killian is gonna is gonna shoot at it. She solves all of her problems.
16 does hit.
Right. Oh, kerblamo. Actually, this is a great. This feels like a great time to use my Fury of Fury of the Small. So she takes an additional 6 on top, so 22.
Jeez. With a 16 to hit, that hits 22 points of damage. Taking aim and just letting loose this blast, it hits against the side of the lace, and you can see though the arm is just, there's a hole there now, and the lace is destroyed. She reaches over with her other arm and checks the dress, sees it, and goes, lets out a shriek. Where is everybody?
On the ground.
Oh, I'm on the ground again.
Just on the ground.
You're just outside of the radius. I need everyone, the zombies, sorry, zombs.
Oh,
I
am
need
I in the radius?
You are
Just barely.
No!
Matilda, Bladebeak, Killian, and Selene need to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Just
did
a
you
bee's
hurt
dick
the-
away, huh?
You? Oh my gosh, you had to wreck the dress? Come on!
Alright, sorry, wisdom saving throw?
Wisdom saving throw.
I'm super good at those.
I'm not actually upset. I'm having fun. Please don't think that I'm upset. I'm just...
Okay, Matilda, you succeed. Killian and the zombie fail. Bladebeak needs to roll as well. Selene fails.
Is this fear? Can Bladebeak be afraid?
I think it's only immune to exhaustion. So.
Oh.
It's immune to exhaustion, poison, and charm.
I would like to think that the afraid function for Bladebeak is just a short circuit. Like, it's just not functioning as it should, and it's just like, initiate flight protocol. As the shriek just bellows out, you can actually see the reverberating waves through, and it passes over Selene. Selene is afraid. If you have failed the saving throw, you are frightened, and you take 6 points of necrotic damage. If you have succeeded, no effect.
Alright.
The zombie
Guessing
takes
that
6.
11 does not succeed.
Does a 14 succeed?
14 does succeed.
What happens on a success? Nothing?
Nothing.
Okay.
Let me see. Are zombies immune to? No, they are not. They are frightened.
No.
Jojo, you seem to have a realization.
I just remembered that I can, as a part of my rage, I can move half my movement, so I could have stood up from prone probably.
I'm cool with
half
that.
my movement.
You're no longer prone.
Thank you.
Oh, you lose all of your
No,
movement.
you lose all your movement.
Yeah, so you
Okay.
actually couldn't have done that. Oh, that
Well,
you raged afterwards.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, you can stand. Okay.
Okay,
So
thank
order
you.
of operations here mattered a little bit. Okay. So she let out the shriek. Killian, you may continue your turn.
Yeah, I take another shot because I'm frightened. I kind of like falter with the rifle, but instead just kind of like look down and flick the clockwork amulet to make it start turning. And she gets hit, I'm pretty sure. Because I've got a plus... What do I have? Bonus.
6?
Plus 7 to hit. And so that's 10 plus 7, 17 to hit.
Methodically, you take aim as the clockwork amulet begins to aid to guide your movements and alter the fate. You take a shot and you just pierce into her body. Go ahead and roll damage.
Damage.
10 points of damage. She does not shriek. The second shot comes in boom, as she is in the middle of shrieking, and she finishes it, staring down towards the lot of you.
All right. Killian is... well, Bladebeak is going to stand up. I think Killian's going to stay right where she is. She doesn't feel the need to, like, take cover or anything. These energy waves are just kind of blasting through the entire area. I'm guessing that she saw that, like, right here, for example, like, the energy just, like, passed through the bench.
It's visible circumstance, for sure.
Okay. Yeah, so she's just gonna stand next to Bladebeak. Bladebeak will get up from prone. And now Bladebeak will ready an action to attack if something comes near.
Awesome. Bladebeak stands. The dodge also ends. And they've readied an action.
Can you apply fear to Bladebeak as well?
Absolutely. So Bladebeak needs to seek a way to break line of sight with the source of its fear via the fear effects that we have. So basically, you'll have to like shuffle over here, or you can also hide behind this pillar probably.
Is that at the end of a turn or the start?
It needs to make sure that it can accomplish that. So if it can break line of sight, then it can attack or do something first and then run to break line of sight. But it always needs to happen before the turn is over. Or just seek breaking line of sight to the best of its ability.
Yeah, like if you know that you can, but you're going to need to dash, you have to do that then.
Okay, well then I run and hide here first, and then I call for Bladebeak to also come and run and hide.
Perfect. And as the turns end, we circle back to the zombies who begin to make their attacks. This one takes note that Paka's left and kind of just shuffles over here, grabs a chair and goes to throw it. This one takes aim towards you, Jojo.
Do they have to break line of sight? They're also afraid, right?
They are, thank you. This one goes over here, hits the edge of the banister, and just fucking flips and falls off the side. This one does the same. As they leave their assigned positions, they die. As they reach the other side and they begin to fall off, they hit the ground, and as they stand, they just cease to animate, falling to the ground and becoming lifeless. These two take positions over here and over here, and they, once again, the two of them now just hurl javelins towards Desaulniers.
Desaulniers is also frightened, by the way. So put that
Thank you.
Me as well.
Okay, Lane, you were frightened as well?
Yes, that's why I had to cheese it.
I think the only person that's frightened was Matilda.
And Jojo's like, why is everyone afraid? These two zombies look
I didn't
onwards
hear
towards
anything.
Desaulniers. And throw one. Desaulniers slams it aside with the shield, and the other impacts directly into her leg. And then she, fuck! Turns as she takes a little bit of damage. And continues her march towards the zombs. Vincent, you are up. You are charmed by this individual, but you may act as normal.
I need a bit of a word picture for this because I just don't want it to be kind of flat. When she charmed Vincent, what is the equivalent of the charm? Is it I would view her like I would someone like Rosa or someone, right?
Yes, you view them as a friendly acquaintance. And also you
more than so
you cannot harm them.
Yeah, no, I understand the mechanics of it. I'm trying to figure out the role play here. When Matilda came over and hurt her, I could see all that happen, right?
Yeah, but you still know that like Matilda's also still your friend. The situation here is that like for some reason Matilda just attacked Jojo kind of thing.
Vincent's just going to kind of like, he doesn't seem too much different than he was before, but he's going to walk up next to you, Matilda, and be like, I think we need to focus more on taking out the ads. Stop hurting your friends. And he'll walk forward a little bit. He'll walk to here, and he's gonna let off a fog cloud. What?
It's just very funny. Stop hurting your friend. She's like, the fuck? It's a 20-foot radius, yes?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw it up.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
What is this?
Fog.
Fog cloud. He'll throw it up over this area to try and like. Aside from the zombies, he's wondering why his friends are fighting. Basically, he's gonna try and defuse the situation by making it so they can't see each other. Bonus action. Sell an idea. It's best that you go try and find somewhere to take cover.
What's with the fog? What is this? I am in cover, apparently. And she begins to look around.
He inspires her.
Ooh, I like that. Is that animation here? That's pretty.
I think it's come up. You say that every time it pops up.
It's always
It does look really cool.
And everything, I have a fish memory when it comes to that specifically.
Shiny things, yes, very much so.
Cool. Yeah, sorry, Adrian, about the AoE. It's just it messes up when those pop up on screen for me.
I was offended. At the is this the end of your turn?
Yeah.
I was kidding. I was kidding. Okay, you may roll another wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Why are all these people attacking your friends at the end of your turn? On Selene's turn, she is going to look towards you and just be like, okay, I had a javelin in my leg a second ago, but I'm gonna reaches the outer edge of the fog cloud and kind of bursts through. Okay, all right, this is yours. Pulls the javelin out of her leg and spins it to stab it through the head of this zombie.
That's true. I did break line of sight for her with the fog. I didn't think of that.
She reaches
That's
the other.
weird.
She reaches the other side. Yeah, pulls out the javelin and goes. And as she pulls it out, doesn't really think about what she's doing. The blood begins to trickle down. Her leg gives out and she falls off to the side. Javelin hits the ground and she suffers 1 point of damage.
Ooh.
As she looks over, she now kind of like just brings herself back up. She still has a javelin in one hand and a mace in the other. But with that critical failure, that is the end of her turn.
Turn undead in action, or
You gotta be a good cleric. You know. Selene's turn.
She's
And-
inspired, just so you know, so she missed. She can add a d6 to it.
Well, it's a critical fail. It's a miss one way or the other.
Mm.
She's gonna hold on to that inspiration. The third sister.
At the end of her turn, does she get to roll another save?
She does. At the end of her turn, the sister will also use the legendary action as well. That is not a success. Selene, get your act together. As at the end of her turn, third sister will move. Actually, probably teleport
I
to.
could put up that fog cloud again. It's gone for me. I don't know if it is for other people.
Does she need to see where she's going to teleport?
She does not. So she teleports to a location within range.
Oh,
She appears immediately in front of you. Jojo, looking down towards you, expecting you to be on the ground, but seeing that you're standing, brings two hands back and just rakes the area in front of her as you see thin scratches appear of gold flame that then burst forward across you. This is an attack roll.
Astrid, stop!
Ooh. If you want to use that little bit of orcish inspiration here, something can happen.
What orcish inspiration? Oh, like my character inspiration?
No, just like because you guys have been really RPing your stuff, your like racial traits really well recently. You guys have this little bit of like a boost in this little fight.
Oh, so I had that advantage thing. Yeah, I'll use that right now.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna give her disadvantage on this attack roll, which brought it from a critical hit down to a normal hit. As the
Yay.
flame erupts around you and flies through your body, you take a grand total of. Actually, I also need you to roll a d6, and you take 16 points of undistinct damage yet. Take 16
Ooh.
points of cold damage as a blue flame
no.
erupts through your body.
I'm not resistant to those ones.
Remember, you have 3 temp HP.
Yes, I did add that. Thank you.
Huzzah, huzzah. Then, now that it is the beginning of her turn, she is going to. She shuffles back. You see her float backwards, reach out and grab onto the side of this pillar. And as she pulls back, she takes a small vine that then solidifies into a single bramble-covered rapier. And she prepares as she brings the rapier to her hand, and with a regal show of swordplay, begins to just stab forward and prepares for the rest of the fight. At the end of her turn, Jojo, you're up.
Joe's gonna yell out, "Bianca, bring it to me when you got it!" And she's gonna run forward and do. She's gonna bring out the Lodumnian longsword and do 2 slashes towards Azure. She's gonna do it recklessly. That is, first one's a 20 to hit,
20 hits.
and that is 14 slashing damage. This is a magical weapon. And then second attack is also advantage. Ooh, that is a 25 to hit,
25 hits.
and that is normal versatile. So that's 14 slashing damage.
With a 2 harsh blows across the body, she begins to reel backwards. She is bloody.
Let it out! And she goes with a slash as the vines start to like wrap around her feet. and sort of like hold her in place while she gets these 2 slashes off. And that's my full turn.
At the beginning of Matilda's turn, you hear voices begin to ring through the back of your mind, and the thrill of battle for a brief moment just kind of dissipates, as replaced. Is there any particular reason you're doing this? I don't think it's necessary. You should walk away. You should just walk away. No, don't listen to him. It's pointless. It's a stupid thing he's saying. He's stupid. Don't be stupid like he is. You should fight. Keep fighting. In fact, fight everyone. You should be stabbing your friend. Like Vincent said, stab your friends. That's what he said. I'm not paraphrasing.
Wait, are you Faust and Mistra or something?
How are you in Matilda's mind? Fuck you.
What?
This was Matilda.
You begin to hear
I'm sorry,
JoJo
I
as
thought
well
you
for
were
a brief
telling me
moment.
this. That's why I was so confused. I was like, wait, what?
You hear JoJo in your head for a second, and they're like, "We're cutting you off."
I was so confused. I thought you were talking to me, and I was like, wait, what?
I tire of that one. Kill her first.
Proceed.
Can we go back? Because now I totally lost the plot.
Please do. Oh my god.
In your mind, your patrons begin a small battle, and as they are just constantly giving you conflicting and just plain strange information, your mind at once is just woof, cleared of the fog as the madness dissipates, and you hear, "Worry not. You have been doing well. This enemy stands before you now. Mere kindling. We immolate kindling, don't we?"
Matilda's hand lights up with fire. And her eyes like narrow. And, like listens.
The voice like the rustling of the wind. And you feel a cold chill and almost like an incredibly cold chill. It sits within your back and almost like a difficulty breathing. Like you're walking at high altitudes. The world around you begins to shift and distort for a brief moment. And then as this just spark of inspiration hits you, granted by your divine, you have advantage on this attack roll. Congratulations on the RPing with your roleplay and your warlock traits recently. It's been fantastic. And as the battle encircles once more, and this voice leaves your mind, flames erupt across your hands. What do you do?
I take a step forward. Say to Astrid, "We're not the ones that took your love." And like her voice gets like that weird, like creepy, like demon, like voice, like, and then she casts firebolt.
Yeah, you will be attacking through 2 allies. So in this case, if the 2 of you want to expend your reaction, you can duck.
You got the wand though, right?
That's true. Oh, that's half, 3/4 cover, right?
No, just half cover. It doesn't
Okay.
do 3/4.
So in this case, I would say that 3/4 is still fully functioning. It doesn't reduce it down to half.
Do I need to duck still?
One of you, Bladebeak or Killian.
Okay. Bladebeak will duck.
I'll just say prone.
Oh, okay.
You do.
Me.
Lobbing flame with your dual wand setup.
Nope.
With your bonus, it seems like it would be hard to miss.
I
Yeah.
don't know if she could.
She
You
can.
know, with advantage.
Launching that flame off towards the side, it reels around, and as it dashes against the side of Astrid's face, she just begins to let out a pain shriek. Go ahead and roll damage.
I really wanted to burn the dress, but I can't because she's wearing it.
11 points of damage. She reels back from that,
And
and
another +4 to that.
thank you. 15. Okay. That hurt. As the flames dash across her face, you see that she just reels back and holds her hand up to the side of her head as she just attempts to like scrape what remains, and it dissipates off of her. She turns her attention towards the source of the flame, and then kind of like is just staring. Okay.
And
Matilda,
then-
anything with the rest of your turn?
Bonus action. I'll heal myself a little bit. Because that really was super ouchy. The last thing that she did. These rolls. Okay, cool. I'm done. My turn. Over.
At the end of your turn, she is going to take a legendary action. But as we get to that, let's take a bit of a break. The beginning of a new round.
Come on.
I'm rolling investigation. I got it too.
Oh,
He
no.
continues. He is now in the place, and he is actively attempting to search through what remains at the bottom of this this small pit. However, he also kind of calls out. He's like, "It's not much here," and you can hear like clattering and the movement of stuff on the other side of the battlefield.
Who has
Killian,
the other handkerchief? Like the
Vincent
cloth
does.
one? Okay.
actually,
Quick
at the
point of order.
Mhm.
Was she about to use a legendary action when we left for the break?
she's actually about to use 2 because I moved forward to pocket. As the the first legendary action, however, is simply disappearing, appearing here, and she leans back, grabs at her throat, and you see both blue and gold flame alight as she brings them up and goes, "Ah!" and just lets out this piercing shriek that carries with it flame. As she calls out a heinous shriek towards a lot of you. I need all of y'all, so this will be Matilda, Killian, Bladebeak, and Jojo to roll a wisdom saving throw. Those of you who are frightened have disadvantage on this saving throw.
Is this a save for fear?
This is also a save against fear, yes, technically speaking.
I have a second point of order. When do we roll for fear? At the start of our turn or at the end of our turn?
It's at the end, yeah.
Okay, because I never did that for my turn with Killian and Bladebeak. 'Cause
Did
we
that
moved.
happen afterwards?
Well, they're
It happened
frightened.
in the middle of my turn. Because I shot her and then she screamed and then we got
Mm.
frightened.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll again. Yeah,
Okay.
for both of you.
It's probably not going to succeed, but I just figured I'd toss
Oh,
it.
yeah, for sure. 10 doesn't succeed. Go for Bladebeak.
Yeah.
So I very kindly have heroism on me, so I'm immune to fear.
14 just succeeds.
Okay, cool. So Bladebeak, no longer feared. Here's the wisdom regular saving throw. And then the Killian will make her disadvantaged. Oh, Bladebeak, you're
Ooh.
just a... Mwah. Saving throw.
If you're already frightened, I don't know if you'd be frightened again, but
It's not about it. It's not about that. So, though this carries a fear effect with it, the wisdom saving throw does also carry through to the damage, Jojo. I will need the save, but you are immune to the frightened condition.
I did roll, and I rolled a 9. So I'm sure it fails.
9, okay. Matilda, you succeeded. Killian, you just failed.
do I need to roll it or am I too far?
You do not. You are too far away. As the shriek bellows out and the flame dashes across all of you, there is a guaranteed damage on this one. So,
Okay.
that is
Love that. Love to see it.
8 points of fire damage.
Half to 4 for me. I'll use my reaction.
Perfect. And this is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 points of cold damage.
Does it matter if you succeed or fail? You take that?
That is the total amount, so it's halved for anyone who succeeded the save.
How much of the cold was it?
The cold was 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 points of cold damage.
So 7 cold if you succeeded, 14 if you didn't, and 5 fire or 2 if you succeeded.
No, it's 8 fire total. So that'd be
8
halved to
fire,
4.
So 4. For some reason
Both Killian and Bladebeak are bloodied.
Killian would be concentrating on heroism, so you'd need to roll a con
That
check.
is correct.
Thank you.
Con save.
Come
You
on.
succeed, you are still concentrating.
Beauty.
And then, as the flames grow higher, everyone has taken their damage, yes?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Killian, it is now your turn.
Bladebeak and I are bloodied.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And just Bladebeak failed the second save, yes?
Yeah, so he took full, but is not feared anymore.
Okay. Upon failing the second one, you are feared again. Sorry.
Perfect. No, that's fine.
Is Matilda or Jojo bloodied?
No.
Okay.
I'm guessing from here I'm still within view of the Red Widow.
Can you repeat how much damage that was again? I took it off and then it didn't go through.
It was 15 cold, half if you succeeded, which you did. Or 14. Sorry.
14 cold, 7
So it'd
if
be
you
7.
succeeded.
And then 8 fire or 4 if you succeeded. So 11 damage total, basically.
Yeah, then I am bloodied. Sorry. I fucked up the math when I typed it in. Sorry.
All right. So start of my turn as Killian, I need to move so that I can't see the source of my fear. If I move to like here, does that block?
The pillar itself is incredibly thin. It does not actually block line of sight, but this one here can.
Understood. Okay, I will.
You could shoot and then move if you know that you could get out of line of sight.
You can also probably 30 feet. Yes, you can also make it to this pillar to break line of sight on the other side.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, if that's the case, I'll move, and then I'll shoot with disadvantage at third sister.
Run and gun.
Yeah, run and gun. Get some John Woo action up in here.
Narratively speaking, if you close your eyes, it's the same thing.
I know, right?
If you take aim and just loose a shot, but it just boom, slams against the stone pillar.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Well, here goes another one. Blam blam.
20.
That hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Nice.
9 points. Slam.
You scream or not?
She does not.
Okay. Then I continue. Ooh, wait. Is this difficult terrain for me or just enemies?
No, it's
Just enemies.
difficult terrain for enemies.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll hide behind this pillar. Do I have to go one more to be on? Because if I'm here, I can still see her, right?
Oh, let me go ahead and do this first thing. You guys should have proper line of sight now.
Okay.
Previously, I gave you a light that was covering everything.
Okay.
That was my mistake. You rush over to the other side of the pillar and kind of just feel the fear bubbling within your body.
All right. And then I am going to command Bladebeak to get out of here, run over to wherever Selene is. And so he has to get up from prone. So that's half his movement, so he has 20 left.
Into the fog.
Yeah. And then he's just going to rush. If I dash with 20 move speed, do I then have 40 move speed? Or do I have 60?
So you gain your movement on top of whatever you have. So the Bladebeak's total is 40, so it would gain another 40 afterwards.
Okay. And there is still a cloud here. Okay, cool. So Bladebeak runs in here, and then probably immediately gets confused. Nice. Let's see.
Oh, is there not a cloud for you guys? There's still one on my screen.
No, there was a purple one when I entered the area. Is Selene making a lot of noise?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Then I think he could probably find her.
You hear the occasional fuck.
A somewhat malfunctioning mechanical bird pierces the fog right next to Selene, like a raptor in Jurassic Park 1.
God!
And there he will remain. That's my turn.
Breaks out of the fog. Both of you get another wisdom saving throw.
Right.
Killian is no longer frightened.
Ooh. Till the next time.
What about Bladebeak?
Rolling it now. 12.
12 still frightened. These fog radiuses are doing fun things. On the zombies' turns, they look down into the fog with confusion and then turn towards Selene, raising a hand and just boom, boom. Both move into position to attempt to just slam attack. The first one comes in and misses Selene. She brings that, like, the last bit of the javelin up and just throws the zombie back. And then the second one comes in. She says, "God, I hate undead!" And then just smacks it in the top of the head with the... It just reels back for a moment. And that is the end of the zombies' turns. Vincent, you're up.
Okay. Hearing like the clash of battle and everything going on, and kind of hearing the shrieks of allies fighting allies, Vincent like methodically moves over and steps out of his... Yeah, that's really weird. The fog cloud just like disappears when you take a step. Super weird. He'll walk forward 5 then. He can get to here. And he'll take a step out of the cloud to have a look at everyone. And he's basically just going to kind of adjust his the collars on, or the sleeves on his shirt, and look up at everyone. If children don't want to behave and to be taught a lesson, you should stop arguing. And you can see that something seems a little off. Vincent's... It's the first time you've seen him kind of like lose his temper a little bit. And as he does this, the ash bond around his neck and his arms like flickers almost a little bit and turns black, but then immediately back to gold. And I'd like to expend all my sorcery points to reach into one of my preemptively ancestor spells to cast Calm Emotions on the group.
How many sorcery points do you have left?
All of them -1, I think. So, or all of them. We just rested, so 4.
I also want I want a 2nd level spell slot too.
Yeah, I'll still cast it at the proper level.
Okay. As you reach back and you begin to just tie in, you can feel your ash bond begin to creep up. It almost feels like it's digging into you. Like your soul there has more, and that is attempting to wring out of you. As you burn this beyond your means, you take 6 points of necrotic damage, as the ash bond itself almost seems to like seep at your life. You find your energy dissipate, and this spell erupts into motion. What is the radius of calm motions?
As he's doing this, the smoke behind him switches to like a black color and like almost fizzles and sucks into him, kind of feeling his perturbed anger a bit at the moment. And the radius on this is 20 feet, so it's everyone.
Okay. If anybody wants to attempt to resist this,
It's a charisma saving throw. He'll put it here.
Killian,
Ooh, that is new.
the only one among you who's sitting there just being like, I know that spell, is Selene on the other side of the battle. Okay, so you guys are resisting the calm motions. Jojo,
Yeah.
you are still
I'm
as you were.
It wouldn't end rage either. It doesn't.
Well,
It doesn't end
eventually
rage, yeah.
rage. It would eventually end rage when I don't hit anyone and I don't get hit.
The widow. Go ahead and roll this.
Ow.
Vincent would probably give. He is going to do unsettling words to someone. Who does he view as the most of the threat? Probably Matilda. So let me roll this. Okay, you would still succeed with that.
Okay. The widow looks down towards you and is going to use a legendary resistance to succeed.
Ooh.
So everyone succeeded, basically.
Well,
Did
but it was very
Killian-
cool though.
Killian didn't even
Oh.
roll.
Oh, you just.
Oh, you
failed
just
it.
wanted to.
This is like the third time someone's cast calm emotions on Killian, and she's never resisted it.
Killian, you feel
Like
you
someone
feel
feels too
indifferent.
It's like free Valium. You're just like, ah, yes.
So yeah, this like wave of energy kind of like washes over everyone. Their hair kind of like flitters back a little bit, but for the most part, Killian is the only one that it takes effect. I guess Vincent would roll himself. Vincent fails.
Vincent fails his own saving throw.
Is that in charm?
No, so it does one of two things. It can either end charm and frighten, or it can make everyone indifferent to each other. He chose the indifferent one because the other one didn't make sense to him at the moment. He doesn't think charms are going on right now. So yeah, everyone succeeded except for him and Killian. And so you see his like normal calm demeanor take place. If everyone's done now, we can all have a talk.
And then, like, after a few moments of silence, everyone looks towards you and each other. You just hear, ah, as the fight continues. Except Killian's just pretty chill about it all.
Is Killian going to say anything in this regard?
Not right away. She's probably got her back up against this pillar and was like clutching her rifle, but then looking around. But then it's just kind of kind of puts the rifle like across her lap, but is like still like nervously, not super nervously, but like not fearfully anyway, but nervously just kind of like looking around.
Is that the end of your turn, Vince?
It is.
Selene. At the end of your turn, she had a turn yet? She is not. Selene looks on towards these two, and then looks down towards Bladebeak and is like, "What's that, boy?" "Oh yeah? Yeah, sure." Reaches over and grabs onto her mace and like leans in, just whispers something down towards it, flips it around and like just takes a little wooden thing out of the bottom of it, and from the inside of the mace produces a holy symbol that she clutches in her hand and raises it up as light begins to shine out through her fingertips. The two zombies in front of her begin to just reel back, covering their faces from the light. I need a wisdom saving throw.
The secret holy symbol, the only real one.
This one on the right turns and immediately attempts to flee, like hitting the other edge of the banister, and it just cracks, breaks. They fall, hit the ground, and go unanimated as they fall off of their assigned place. This one remains in position and continues just its awkward slapping. And Selene is then like, just goes in and goes to kick them. It's like, I'm better at this.
The cleric that kicks.
The cleric that kicks. New title. The Red Widow looks onwards towards all of you. It is going to oh, that's fun. Real. Ooh, Killian's over there.
The is gone, by the way.
Thank you. Let me reset this movement. I think she's actually going to do this. Boom, boom, boom. Attacking everyone she passes through. As you see her ghostly move through the combat, just taking that rapier in hand and just scraping across your guys' bodies in this just in and out, no matter what, this thorn-covered rapier is going to be a bad time.
Assuming that her type of movement isn't bothered by this difficult terrain.
She is incorporeal.
Cool.
Also hovering. But that may not necessarily stop them. I'm not sure about the maneuver itself. However, in this instance, she is not.
Cool.
Flying through, Killian, first cut goes directly across you and just rakes backwards like a chainsaw. Second, she goes in towards Jojo and takes 3 quick stabs. You bring up to try and resist the damage, and your barbarian's rage enforces defense, but boom, 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 3 pierces, quick. She circles around and hits you, Vincent. From behind, she goes and just coup de grace goes to stab directly through you. This will be... None of you are critically hit. All 3 of you are hit. Do you do anything to resist this?
Vincent doesn't view her as an enemy, so he probably wouldn't see this coming. And this breaks the charm?
She has attacked you. Now she has broken the charm. So with the minimum damage she can deal, 5 points to Killian, 5 points to Jojo, halved to 2, and 5 points to you, Vincent, and she recovers 12 hit points. As the energy is siphoned out of you through the rapier and into her.
His concentration on that also fails.
And she looks towards all of you, like wavering in mid-air. You see the energy slowly, just blood drinks into the rapier and into her body. And that is the end of her turn. Jojo, you were up.
Jojo, thinking that Paka's probably not gonna get this thing, she's just like, and seeing a bloodied Killian near her is gonna run up and oh, I went through a wall. Can I go
Would
through
you give
Vince?
enough room?
Yes.
Yeah. You'd have to do
Okay,
that.
yeah. And then I will bring down the Lodinium sword on her twice again. Recklessly. Oh, she should have had advantage on that attack.
Thank you. Let me go ahead and... Not a natural 20. We're good. 20 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
That is 8 slashing damage on the first one. Advantage. That is 23 to hit.
23
on the
hits.
Second. And that is 10 slashing on the second.
10? Fine. You see that she like goes back and she's like, "Ah!" and begins to shriek, but just can't produce the energy needed.
I don't think I have a good bonus action right now. So that's my turn.
Alrighty. She's not looking good. Dress torn to pieces. She is pretty much falling apart. Matilda, you were up. At the end of your turn, let's be real. She's gonna try and immolate all of you.
Okay.
So I need you two and Matilda to roll for me. Check this out again.
Dex save?
Dexterity saving throw. You succeed.
Natural 20.
That's a 13 for
If-
me.
That's a 10.
If only that were true. You said it so confidently, I was like, really? Vincent, you succeed. The other two, you have failed. You take 15 points of fire damage. And Vincent, you take 7.
15
Again.
halved to...
Is it
7.
just fire? It's not radiant, right?
Straight fire.
I don't think. Yeah, I mean, it's probably some stuff in Ilya that's
Seven?
confusing us because we had weird magic in there. But
No,
I don't think
I'm-
fire could ever be radiant.
It's just interesting because there's like things like sacred flame and stuff, so it just gets confusing at some time. Not that this was the instance. This is me just being like, hey, is there any way that I don't get fucked?
Yeah.
This one's just fire, straight fire. And
Yeah,
as the final flame erupts out from this just immolating scream, Matilda, you're up. Are you bloody?
Yes.
Okay, let me do this.
Vincent
Jojo,
is
are you bloody?
Jojo is not bloodied.
Perfect. You are not the father.
So you should-
Matilda, you're up.
I will eaty beady her. And I will say, enough, sleep. Your quarrel's not with us. And I attack. Sleep, please. Is it 25 hit?
25 hits, go and roll damage.
Ooh.
13?
Second attack.
No need. With the first attack, tell me what happens.
What she says, like, sleep. You're like your quarrel isn't with us, and she sends out the beam of light, and it just looks like a big ball of light is gonna hit her, but it ends up being like a ball of like feathers that like poof once they hit her, but it's like enough that she just like falls over dead.
As the impact blasts across her and this just pure magical force rings through her body. Vincent, go ahead.
As a reaction, could I do something to her death?
Yeah.
As he sees her go down, in his head, he's gonna be like, "Carson, dear."
Of course. Catch her.
No, love. I was gonna say, I'm not sure if your particular taste extends to the dungeon. Feel free to take her soul if you want.
Interesting. I can certainly try.
She's been through a lot.
Carson appears, like he appears in front of you all, and as he physically manifests, and then you look towards him, he's like, catch her? You're like, no, not quite. He kind of takes the hint and disappears from everybody else's view, returning to a shadow in your mind. And as she begins to fall, and her, like, just the body rests on the ground, you can see just the physical charred remains that rest within this just soiled wedding dress hits the ground and begins to fill in. You see legs begin to form. You see arms begin to thicken. The face hits the veil, and all begins to just stare downwards. Looking up, still just this horrifying visage. But as she looks around at those within her, or around her, reaches a hand up shakingly. You can see moments from her death. Carson goes around back, kind of takes a look, cocks his head back and forth, and then just kind of brings himself down to his knees, leans in and whispers. He says, "Do you want rest?" But she ignores him.
She has her hand out like she was before.
She does.
Paka, do you have the handkerchief?
It's
Vincent,
not.
can you hand her the handkerchief?
It's not here. It's not here. It's not here.
Vincent will reach into his lapel and pull out the handkerchief. Does her eyes dart towards it, or is she not interested in this one?
As you bring it out, there is interest. She looks towards it, and as you have like previously produced something, and you reach forward and you grabbed her hand, you've seen that she just kind of remained steady. As you pull the handkerchief out, her head shifts. There's interest.
And he'll telepathically connect with her. Dear, do you want another chance? Something to see what could have been.
She nods.
All things come at a price, though. And he'll kind of eye towards where Carson is.
Carson just shakes his head.
Did she respond to anything in Vincent's head?
It's not so much a response, but just like a willingness, I suppose.
Okay. He'll give her over the handkerchief then.
She takes it. She takes an immediate look at it. And then she shakes her head. Sorrowfully, she brings herself down, and though you have elicited a response, you can tell that it's not the one you were looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Holding the handkerchief in her hands, she brings it up to her chest, as from the center of her hands, flames, azure flames begin to rip out from the position at which she holds it now to her heart and engulf her. And eventually the flames pull away, leaving that handkerchief that flitters down and lands on the ground.
Same as before, right? Well,
Each of you roll.
I guess, but,
Each of you roll 1d100. Vincent, for handing her the handkerchief, you have advantage on this roll.
Okay.
Oh, 37. I thought it was a 73.
97 for my first roll.
Ooh.
Yeah.
100.
Ooh.
100.
Let me go
Well,
ahead
I'm
and...
going to get 100, but it's
Oh.
91 for the second.
Those
Wow.
are quite good numbers. Roll for... Oh my god. What? Selene got 1
Oh my god.
on a D100. Oh my god. Paka got
Did
98.
she get coal? You think Paca got a 1 or D100?
I got a rock. Paka got 98. And Selene got a 1.
Aw.
Sorry,
Paca
Vincent.
was in a grave digging the whole battle.
That's true.
Yeah.
He was not engaged in this combat. Though there are some that he has been engaged in, he has been completely absent from this one. Paka is not involved in this one.
though. We could have got some dope loot.
You do need to engage or incorporate in some way. In this instance, Paka has not.
Also, like, I don't know. I don't really count Paca's loot as our loot. He's probably just gonna go sell it for more shiny
The
gold.
zombie
He has-
tried to hit
He
him.
has a pile. He has a pile.
If he got hit
um,
by the zombie, would he get a loot?
If you keep going, you will be losing points on your roll. Do you wish for that?
Okay.
Hmm?
She said no, but it didn't. The
no,
audio
okay.
Go through.
I was gonna give you a roll, and then we were gonna see. Coward! I'm just kidding. As you
I
all
felt
sit...
like you were being mean to me, so I just didn't
I'm
say
sorry, I
anything.
didn't want to be mean. I just wanted... I mean, I guess I was being a dick, but I wasn't being mean. I wasn't trying to anyway. As you all...
And now we all feel bad.
Yes! Success! I love you all, you're great. As the energy that leaves the relatively large core that falls from her central body. It hits the ground, the energy dissipates and flies towards all of you. Killian, the 2. You've received the energy lands in your hand and solidifies into a small vial, a potion. You gain the immediate knowledge that you have gained a filter of love.
Ooh.
Sounds neat.
Jojo, with a 37.
Yeah.
The energy falls down, lands in your hand, and you receive a filter of love.
Ooh.
Let me
Is it like a
continue.
love potion?
Matilda, a filter of love. As these potions solidify within your grasps, Vincent, with a 97. You've received a legendary item. You've received the Maiden's Tear. The filter of love, as it has been denoted. One moment. By the way, Selena's just like, hey, what is this file about? As she receives a filter of love. The next time you see a creature within 10 minutes after drinking this filter, you become charmed by that creature for 1 hour. If the creature is of a species and gender you are normally attracted to, you regard it as your true love while you are charmed. This potion's rose hue, effervescent liquid contains one easy-to-miss bubble shaped like a heart. And Vincent, the Maiden's Tear.
So you feed it to someone and they
self-love.
fall in love with you, or you?
Yes, you would have someone else. You would have someone else drink it, unless you wanted like just a fun day. 2 people drink it, and then you go about.
Hmm.
You know,
How long
good
does it
date.
last again? 24 hours?
It lasts.
Or is it permanent until like removed?
Let me open up the filter of love. For 1 hour.
Oh, okay.
The Maiden's Tear, as a single teardrop, falls down and lands in your hand. You see it long since dried and fall into the ground broken. A ring of water frozen in time. This crystal tear can restore life to a creature who has lost it, and grant them one more chance to find what it is they were looking for. And you receive a single message. Here now we lie, together at last. We will meet you on the other side. My love, my life. The Sage. Place the tear on a creature who has died within 1 minute. The tear turns back. The effects, converting 1d4 -1 death saving throws from failures into successes. The creature cannot be stabilized by any means aside from succeeding death saves when under this effect. The creature who has all of their death save throws converted into successes is restored to life and returns to consciousness with 1 hit point. Alternatively, the tear can grant life to a single inanimate object permanently. The object gains statistics as though under the effect of the animate object spell. The awakened creature can speak and understand the languages of the one who used the tear and takes on the form of the user's choosing that is reasonable to the object awoken. The awakened creature is astutely aware of everything that has transpired around it for the last year.
Interesting. So the mechanics for the resurrection seem really complicated. Can you TLTR that in a simpler way?
Yes. If a creature has died, basically you roll a d4, and then that -1 death saves are turned to successes. They basically are stabilized, and they are rolling death saves now. So they
What if
get
you just
another
stabilize
chance.
them
You
again?
can't. They can't be. If they are dead, and then you use the tear on them, they gain 1d4 -1 death save successes. They are no longer dead. Now they are dying again. So they need to now roll, and they cannot be stabilized by any other means but successful death saves.
Oh, so you couldn't heal them or anything.
No.
They'd need to re-roll. So this could
Okay.
fail and not do anything.
Yes.
Essentially.
Yes, but the D4 roll gives successes.
Yes.
Yeah. So like they could
preeminently, so-
automatically get up, or you could roll a 1,
Okay.
and then they'd have to roll, and they could still fail.
Is there
Correct.
like do they have to have died within the last day, year, minute? Did you say that? And I just not.
It is 1 minute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
Mm.
kind of like a poor man's revivify, but in this campaign, it's huge because there's no resurrection spells.
Yup.
Awesome.
Are we correct to assume that if they get 3 or 4 on the D4,
You just stand up.
then they just get up?
They've succeeded. Oh, they have to actually get 4 because it's a d4 -1. So if you roll max, then they have succeeded 3.
Gotcha.
Is there a minimum of 1, or if you roll a 1, then they just have
1
zero?
-1 is 0,
Yeah.
so they just start
Okay.
rolling.
Rolling all of them.
I know
It
you
is.
would never.
It is minimum 1.
I know you would never do this, Vincent, but you can bring inanimate objects to life, and all I could picture was like a sentient pair of handcuffs. It made me laugh really, really hard.
The
I know we can bring it to life.
I was like debating on different objects in the back of my head. The issue with that is they come back with like 10 health, and if they died, then they just cease to like it.
I know. No, you would never.
Respawn them.
No, you would never ever do that. But it's just like Cursed Beauty and the Beast, where all like the objects have like souls in their people, and it's just really funny to me.
They're also astutely aware of everything that has transpired around them for the last year.
Yeah, that could be super useful to solve like a mystery.
And we pop back in. As the zombie over here, by the way, has simply fallen and has hit the ground inanimate.
I'm assuming the gate opened.
As you look onward, the gate begins to alight and raise, and similarly, the tombstone begins to fill in.
Oh. Can we stay and watch the tombstone, please?
Yeah, we have to anyways.
I have a feeling it's interesting. I figured it's not Astrid's name. It might be the name of her love, which would be nice to know.
I need that name.
Do we feel like if we wait for the tombstone to fill in, the gate will close? Is that what happened last time?
Yeah.
We
Yes.
want the gate to close?
Oh yeah, because we're leaving, so that's fine.
It doesn't matter. Do you
You
tell
all-
us about what you heard from the mains ring, like the sage saying?
If
Vincent?
you ask about it.
I don't know if I would know to ask about it though, because you don't really know that someone got something set in their head.
Every time you saw like the item flitter down and like Vincent had it in his hand, and you know that like most of the items in the dungeon, I don't think he would speak it out loud right away.
Yeah, and Jojo would be like, "Did anyone hear anything?"
From the items, and then she basically, this says that she loved him, which was, yeah.
But it's a quote by the sage. Is Astrid the sage?
No.
I think
No?
the sage might be someone who's keeping a track. It's the author, the person who's.
It's weird because the quote is from like the perspective of Astrid. Could I roll like an investigation check or something?
You may roll investigation.
Mm, 12.
No additional insight.
It's not a bad hypothesis, dear, but even if she was this quote unquote sage, I don't think we know what this sage is.
The final bit of energy reaches the top of the portal, and as it begins to dissipate from the bottom up, you see the tombstone come to full life. On it, it reads, "Reunion waiting, side by side. Fog lifted, peace astride. Fingers golden, veil of white. Future taken, none in sight. Names given, final test. Peaceful smile, eternal rest. Ever searching, not for thee. One grave carved out, sized for 3. And then, as the energy of the portal dissipates, so too does the tombstone.
But there was no names on it?
There were no names carved into the tombstone.
Did I get
Just a
that
little
written down?
poem.
Yes.
Well, he looks over at Selen. We could all use a rest. Does everyone want to leave?
Yes, that was so stupid. Why would you write a poem on a gravestone and not the names? Who the fuck am I supposed to come see here? The poem? No!
I don't think this was meant for you, Matilda.
I don't
Dungeon-
care. I'm mad about it.
Okay, Vincent kind of starts to ignore you then and throws a trick rogue up in the air.
And it like links into the very top, and you pull down on it. Solid.
Well, I'm gonna head back. This will stay here for an hour, so feel free to pop in when you want. He'll start. Does he need to do like a climbing check to get up, or?
No. The nature of the spell allows you to climb effortlessly. As you begin to climb up the rope, actually, I've said this a lot today, but I like to think you grab onto the rope and it kind of just like cycles.
Mary Poppins lifts you up out of the. Yeah.
The conveyor belt rope.
Yeah, so it's just like, thank God, touches it and just begins to lift, just being held and dragged under the weight of her own body.
Yeah, we
and
need to work on your stamina.
I need a perception check from everyone who remains, save for Selene. Vincent, you said you climbed up the rope first, actually?
Yeah.
Okay. Vincent and Selene, you are both within the small room at the top. Everyone else roll perception.
Damn it.
13.
Gosh darn it. Come on, Bladebeak.
Yeah, Bladebeak, the saving grace, turns. Paka's also over here with you. Yeah, Bladebeak, the saving grace, turns. Paka continues to ascend the rope, and the head spins around. The eyes dilate as it stares out towards the corner and begins to kind of turns its head towards you, Killian, and it's just like poke, poke. And then spins around
What
and
is it?
points towards the edge. Bladebeak begins to over here.
I follow.
I scoop myself up on top of him so that I can just ride.
Information.
Continue. As you all continue to move, you find, getting closer, you hear the sound of digging. Sound of trowel hitting ground. And, what's happening? There we go. As you continue to move through the area, you see the small grave that had been carved out previously, the small wooden pieces replaced with stone. As you begin to approach, Matilda, your wish come true.
Oh,
You can hear the
thank
sound of carving and stone being dug. Staring towards it, you see 3 gravestones, all of which slowly flittering away and revealing the wood underneath once more. Or your camera is defocused, Matilda.
Oh.
Upon it, I need you all to roll. Do any of you have Mason's Tools proficiency?
Nope.
Thing Killian doesn't have.
Yeah, one of the things that I don't have.
Alrighty. You are looking towards it. As you are staring, there are characters here. They are not in a language you're familiar with. However,
Right.
Matilda, you have made a little bit of a cheat sheet previously. And Damon, what were you saying?
Oh, I was just gonna say, can I use an action to pull out my smith's tools, the all-purpose tool, and just kind of twirl it in my hand, and it turns into like a trowel that you would use to like apply cement. I am now proficient in masonry.
All right. Matilda, you had your hand raised.
There's also often when it's a tombstone, it's carved in. So if we really wanted to, Matilda could also put a piece of paper up to it and rub with a piece of chalk or charcoal too to get the words that don't
Yeah.
fill in.
Do we have to do this with decks because they are fading, right?
They are fading relatively quickly. However, 2 of you at current have done this. Jojo, there are 3 tombstones here. Was there anything that you, as you look towards them, they are in a different language, don't recognize it, and they are fading away slowly. Is there anything that you wish to attempt to do here?
I think I would take a page out of Matilda's book, quite literally, and do a rubbing of one of them.
So I know Matilda grabbed charcoal from the city before because she was like, dang it, I don't have charcoal, and then bought some. Do you have
Yes.
charcoal, Jojo?
I definitely have chalk, but I believe I also have charcoal. Let me double check my.
I would have.
Would Matilda's keen mind not just remember them?
That's very fair, actually.
I can also just like scan it and then write it because I know I have memory of the symbols.
Perfect.
It's like brrrr. Like,
Here's
scan.
how I'm going to do this. Jojo, do you have that charcoal?
I would have already had it out, so she can just use mine and I'll buy more.
Okay. In this instance, Matilda, I need you to roll perception for your scan. Jojo, I need you to roll dexterity to accomplish this quickly. And Killian, I need you to roll a Smith's Tools check with proficiency.
Do I get
You mean
advantage?
Mason's tools?
Mason's Tools check, sorry.
Am I allowed to have advantage because I've been studying the language or no?
I think
You said
this
it
is it's not about
It's too
recognizing
quick.
it. It's
Yeah.
about making it so you gain that information.
And this would be dex.
This would be this would be dexterity plus proficiency for Mason's Tools.
Yeah.
Jojo, you move in, but by the time you shuffle over, grab the chalk, like rip out a page, move up towards it, half of the characters are gone, and it's just faded away. Matilda, you move in and you attempt to just like, okay, I recognize one of the, but by the time you actually begin to even reach the area, it's already faded away. And Killian, you just fucking dart past and you begin to look, just kind of seeing the individual cracks and carvings throughout the area, and with the the tool that you have in hand, you kind of like bring your hand in and you just like chip down at the stone as the energy that goes over it begins to slowly bump over your damage. You just rake and carve as best you can to make it so that it delays it ever so slightly and then passes up towards the top. With that, Matilda, you were able to get a little bit of Killian's tombstone. I need you to roll Killian a d4. 1. The tombstone that you read reads Astrid, the third sister of Psalm. And
That sounds familiar. Why does that sound familiar?
it just reads the last one. Astrid, third sister of Psalm, the last sister of Psalm. Psalm is the village that you had previously seen, that you had traveled through to get here.
How's that town spell?
Sohm. And Matilda, you previously had your hand raised. Was that one finished?
Yeah, that one was finished.
As you all watch the last bits of this energy flitter away, returning back, nothing else transpires within the area, and returning back, you begin to ascend the auto rope. But on the inside, Selene and Vincent, you find yourselves in a small room, and Selene kind of looks down the rope, and after a few seconds, it's just like, is something wrong? They're not coming up.
They're probably just investigating the area, dear. You know how they are with the dungeon. Gotta fill up the books. Here, and he'll look around. It's a Vincent's like rope trip little area. Rest area is pretty nice. There's some nice lounge couches, and there's like a coffee thing in the corner, and a wine fridge.
She moves immediately over to the coffee, and it's just like,
You
Yes.
wanted some, dear, and he'll pull a flask out of his lapel. I always have some on me.
how have I not known this by now?
He'll take a drink. He'll hand it over to her.
She takes the flask and she's like, now I don't have to brew this pot, and just pours the coffee in as she leans back and hands you back the flask and goes to take a sip, and it's empty. And then she's like, okay, and just takes a swig directly out of the flask and hands it back to you.
Catch on.
She sits back and kind of like taps her fingers on the glass or on the mug, and it's just like, so before in the house, the terrible mansion, you asked me to dance.
Yes, dear.
I don't think I can.
Oh. Is that something you'd be interested in trying?
She takes a deep breath in as she's thinking, and then you hear Paka just like he scrapes his way through the hole at the bottom, and then it's just like flops over, and he's like,
I'm just kidding. I don't have exhaustion. I'm fine.
and then moves over towards the edge and places his backpack down, and is like,
Whew. That was tiring.
looks up towards the both of you, and it's just like,
You can sleep now, buddy, if you wanted to.
Oh, yeah.
he just climbs into his own backpack. And then Selene looks over towards him for a moment, and it's just like, I'm gonna roll a courage check.
Ooh.
Vincent will saddle up beside her and take a seat and give her an encouraging smile, using his last inspiration.
A bardic or a normal?
Bardic.
Bardic? Okay. D6.
Hmm.
It's very inspiring. It was a nice little 6. She sits back, and as Paka kind of leaves her line of sight, she looks over towards you and says, yeah, I think I will.
Hmm.
I'm a shitty cleric. I never wanted to be one. I never expected to be one. It might have been because of my mom or something. I don't know. But I told y'all I was a cleric, and you left me the fuck alone. And I appreciate that. Wasn't quite so easy when I started. So thank you, I guess, for just coming back for me and not my class, if that makes sense.
It does, dear. I understand the need to want to be wanted. who you are, not what you can give. I think you'll be able to have that here, if you choose to stay, that is.
She takes a step forward and like stands, like shores up her shoulders and just reaches her hands out like this, both sides, and just is standing there as though that's some kind of a dancing stance, and just like closes her eyes aggressively, like waiting for a punch.
Vincent will stand up and instead of punching her, clasp both of her hands together and bring them down and move them to his sides. And he'll start to sway back and forth a little bit. Let's start with this. Subtle, but just get your balance.
She one awkward step to the side and another as you begin to move with fluid movements. Roll performance. Her roll tracks. Okay, so you rolled 20 more than she did. As you sit back and you begin to lead one step into the next, you see on her beautiful, like just pale onyx and light purple skin, a smile begin to reach, and dimples begin to show that you didn't know she had. As the sound of the auto rope begins to lift back into the area, she fucking jumps off to the side and grabs the flask and sits over in the corner, face just
Vincent
disheveled.
grabs it back from her and sits down and takes a swig.
Oh, did anyone notice them dancing? Did we see?
Bladebeak's
And then-
head just starts lifting through the hole, holding onto the rope with the tether of energy, pulling up the rest of the body.
I feel like Bladebeak saw it, but he can't tell anyone
Yeah.
about it.
Yes.
That's funny.
And then post Bladebeak's arrival, everyone joins together within the trick rope zone once more.
Dumb disappearing words.
Yeah, fuck, it's the stupid.
It's so stupid.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Who makes a tombstone that like is there and then disappears? I need to know whose grave I'm robbing so I can like.
Is it a tomb or a grave?
Whatever. I don't fucking know. Either way, well, Pom Pom wouldn't be yelling at me about knowing the difference, but it doesn't matter as long as you can get cool shit from it or use what you find.
Well, we're all free to hang out here for a bit, take a rest. But we got about 40 minutes left.
Right?
So there's some refreshments in the little fridge there. Some coffee over there.
Pretty sure Astrid is sisters with the Valkyrie that was on the bird. She's the third sister of Som, whatever the fuck that means.
The Somme is that town. How do we know that?
It came from an item, I do believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why Matilda was like, why is that so familiar?
What time is it, Matilda?
Shortly past midnight.
Okay.
There we go. See? I told you.
12:07. Well, the time at the current is 12:07 a.m.
I think it's about time we head back. We could probably still get a rest in before the morning.
Yeah. Head back to the family home.
Also, just to double check, your guys' marks, tattoos, bothering you like they are me? The eyes, Paka and Selen as well.
Paka is in his backpack, and you hear him go as the backpack itself almost begins to grow and shrink with his. And then he, from inside of the backpack, he goes,
Yeah, I'm a little tickly.
What about Selen?
Salman just gives a nod.
Progression.
Bacher, can I have the core from Astrid?
Yeah.
You just see it like lizard head pops out of the side of the bag, and then another arm out of a different side, and then another out of a different side, and then he like
Here it is.
hands you
Thank
the
you.
core.
I touch it. Do I feel things and do I hear words?
You hold on to the core. You feel a bit resentful. You feel a little bit, little angry, a little bit frustrated. It's definitely in there. But you do not hear words, nor do you, nor does anything else happen.
Jojo, do you want to pass it over for a second?
Okay.
Vincent will take it. What does he feel again?
You feel regretful. You feel a little bit sad. You feel like you have things left to do.
He tosses it back.
What did you feel?
Me?
Yeah.
Like
Always
there's many
good.
things we have left to do.
Carson looks over the group as he appears from the shadows. Says, just so you're all aware, she never had a soul. So whether or not she is someone who you can confer with, that's one thing. But she's simply a machination of the dungeon, it seems.
Just a story.
Just words on a page.
Tried to remove curse, and it damaged her.
Yeah. That's weird.
That just means she is a curse?
She is cursed.
She could be a curse. It's definitely possible. If you're removing curse, perhaps you're removing a piece of her.
I just don't know if it's a curse that was put on them or one that they bestowed. Because if I was Astrid, I'd have a lot to curse about and to want to make a curse.
It's hard to tell. In truth, nobody really knows the onset of a curse. Perhaps we were born cursed, or perhaps our birth was the curse. But one way or the other.
I mean, mine was, but mine's just special circumstances. So
He just kind of looks over towards you, and after just this brief laugh, sits back. All I know is I would like some coffee. And he reaches over towards the side as the camera begins to pull out, and as it passes through the wooden walls of this little area and just shows the vast void of nothingness around you in this demiplane you've created. The doorway, the ash gate to the floor beneath you, sitting prominently on the far side of this trick rope. That is where we'll end today's session. And as we begin another little city encounter, thank you all for coming. And until next time, bye everybody.
Bye.
See ya.
bye.